Oh yeah, 2009, Kurrel the Raven on the mic. You are listening to the Furry album, and here is the Furry Song! No, not like that at all. This is the sound of the Raven. Here's what you've been craving. Now listen up, I want to tell you all about my tribe, as misrepresented by Entourage, 4chan and CSI. You want to know about furries? Well, I'll tell you now, you come to the right place to learn what being furry is about. And you better listen, brother, you won't understand what must be understood. To make sense of all the references coming up in the songs I'll be presented. So pay attention to this information. Here's the short version for the impatient. Furries are an internet subculture who are fans of anthropomorphic animal characters, and they bring them to life in any way they can, in costumes, illustration, role-play and animation. Anthropomorphic means like human, but not entirely quite human. So animal mascots or animal cartoons are the kind of characters I mean to refer to. And every furry has a character like this, a character that they identify with, and that's the furry identity. Yes, that's who they are to the furry community. La 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 la, we're furry. La 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 la, la 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 la, we're furry. La 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 la. Listen up, the spaces we express and share our furriness are on the internet. That's where so many furries get together in thousands in online communities like Second Life, Furry Mark or Furaffinity. Virtual international space, and it's hard to discriminate. Nobody knows your gender or race when you're talking animal instead of a human face. And we have real world conventions like Anthrocon or further confusion in the furry autonomous zone alongside your own kind. You know that you're not alone when it comes to the details. We may disagree, whereas different from each other is where you can be in our interest in our sexuality. You may have heard the myth, but this is the reality. There's all kinds of furries, no matter what you've heard. We all find our own place in the furry universe. For some furries, their space is kinky or perverse, but it's not always that way, cause furries are diverse. We are people playing pretend, that's all it is in the end. Every furry's got their own motivation for participation in the furry congregation. La 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 la, we're furry. La 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 la, la 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 la, we're furry. La 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 la. This is the furry fandom in a long rambling nutshell. It started as a breakaway group of sci-fi fans in the 1970s who found out in the 1980s they had something in common with Disney fans who didn't draw the Disney characters very well, or at least that's what John Christopher Lucy from Ren and Stimpy said on his blog. I'm quoting him. Anyway, in the 90s, they hooked up with some gay people in San Francisco on the internet or something, and eventually all of them found out they had something in common with anime fans, goths, neo-pagans, transhumanists, animators, mascot performers, puppeteers, costume designers, children's book illustrators, internet geeks, animal welfare activists, and animal lovers in general, fine artists, porn artists, comic artists, serious artists, people who can only draw crude stick figures even, people who revere Jim Henson, Rick Baker, and Don Bluth as gods, people who feel the same way about Hayao Miyazaki and Osamu Tezuka, misanthropes who would rather be animals than have to suffer the indignity of being the same species as all the other piss-blithering shaven apes in the world, fucking it up for everyone. And people who are talking animals on the internet just because it's fun. People who reincarnated from animals. People who think being reincarnated from animals is impossible and preposterous. People whose imaginations refuse to be contained by the real world. And people whose imaginations refuse to be contained in their own heads. People who hate themselves for having a crush on characters from Sonic the Hedgehog and know there's only one way to get a steady supply of on-model, immaculately rendered Sonic porn for their shameful enjoyment. And people who got over having a crush on that very same character and think Sonic porn is stupid, hilarious, and maybe even a bit creepy. People with spirit animals. People who think spirit animals are stupid. People with no strong opinion one way or the other. Christians, atheists, agnostics, Jews, Discordians, Buddhists, omnivores, vegetarians, vegans, fruitarians, fruit bats, fruit baskets, fruit soup. I have no idea what I'm saying anymore, and it's not the first time this has happened. I'm Kurrel the Raven. This has been the Furry Song, and now for the Furry album. Enjoy. Presenting for the first time, and hopefully not the last. The Commodore 64 keyboard, breadbox model, on percussion.
We met in a fetish chat room, I don't remember which one. You were an otter, I was a bear, we had lots of fun. We hit it off almost instantly, like tomato sauce and pizza crust. Our turn-ons matched up so perfectly, yet it wasn't love, it was deeply kinky lust. We went deeper than we thought we could, amazed at the kinks that we'd find. Sexed up, text, roleplay all night and sometimes all day, oh, we were two of a kind. The major cost was the sleep that was lost to our virtual sinfulness, as we explored what only fantasy affords without reality's hindrance. One day we had an opportunity to meet up face to face. You were in the neighborhood on work, I understood, so you came over to my place. Before I knew it, we were on the floor doing it, and that part I enjoyed was when you started inflating balloon in my ass that I got paranoid. It took a while before I opened my bedroom door, and you were well prepared. Dressed as an otter, I found strangely familiar, offering me a costume that looked just like my bear. The crotchless bear made me baffled and scared, more so your collection of toys. There was whipped cream, helium, and nitrous oxide. You were obviously a naughty boy. I didn't know how to let you down without sounding like an ungrateful square. It was just that I was so astounded by all the kinky stuff that you had in there. I said it again, you had the wrong idea, because that's not what I'm like. Online is perfectly fine, but I'm not like that in real life. It seemed you appeared you had the wrong idea, because that's not what I'm like. You see, online is perfectly fine, but I'm not like this in real life.
I'm sorry, so sorry, you're so very horrid, my dearest creation. I hereby accept all the blame. Your ugliness makes me ashamed. My shudders are instant, your design's non-existent, your glare is persistent, like a hungry wolf eyeing a sheep. To be brutal, you give me the creeps. If only I'd had the talent to make you exactly as in my mind's eye. If I'd any idea of the skill it would take to, I'd never have bothered to try. Your bodysuit's baggy, but that's not what nags me. It's how all the glue that I used has turned to yellow crust. Disgusting and not unlike pus. That my budgets afforded was fur-colored lime green and orange and puce, with the texture of old puppet pubes. travesty. Ambition and talentlessness brought calamity. The fumes from the glue on my fingers are choking me. It stings that my hubris has played this cruel joke on me. I dare not reveal you, so now I conceal you, forgetting I left you there. You'll slowly decline in a box with a sign in red marker saying simply beware. For you were just practice, I'm sure that the next time I'll know better and do it right. So please don't attack me in nightmares I'll have about you when I'm sleeping tonight. Yes, now it is time to hide you away, to put you behind me, and that's where you'll stay. There will be no photographs to show to my friends, to give them a belly laugh at just how horrendous you are. Let's be honest, oh object of wrongness, we've gone much too far. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, "only this, and nothing more." Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December. That summer. Oh wait, this is in the Northern Hemisphere. And each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that scarce was I sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more." Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before, if he does say so himself. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore?" This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, nor a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore, Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, G'day. Much I marvelled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast above the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as G'day. But the raven, sitting lonely on this placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, Cheer up, my poet. Startled at the stillness broken by supplies so aptly spoken, Doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my sad soul into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking, Cheer up, emo poet. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. Bosom. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, respite, and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff, this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, Put it on your LJ. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, Who's Gilead? Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore. Maybe the raven was an atheist, that's quite presumptuous. Tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aiden it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, Who? Be that word our sign in parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak out from my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, Nah. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.
I used to really love your porn, but now I am completely torn by all of your seething and your scorn. You may recall I emailed you 4 months ago to ask you to consider depicting yours truly ejaculating posterior of a foxy I'd like to get to know much better. Bent over a school desk just after class, with a thick stream of Yif cream dripping out his tight foxy ass. You said, okay, that's not a chore, it's something you'd drawn lots before, as long as there wasn't any gore. We made a deal, and so I sent your fee, which came out of my rent. My roomie made up the difference. I emailed you a reference sheet. I'd commissioned my furry persona in many sexual positions, and a naked turnaround to get you acquainted with all my special markings from ear tip to tail tip. It was then that the trouble started. How was I to know that you and my reference sheet's artist had previously come to blows? She said you'd only copied all the best art you'd drawn, and even your tracing was sloppy, so you kicked her ass when you saw her at Anthrocon. Oh, it took you many weeks to finally chill and stop abusing me whenever I emailed. I only wanted to know when you would be done, and asking several times a day seemed better than just asking once. Eventually my commission arrived, accompanied by instructions that I never talk to you again as long as you remained alive. It wasn't your best work, you know. For $200 I felt low, but that's okay, I'll let it go. I gave it to my special fox, and his reaction, I was shocked. He got so pissed he didn't find it hot. Oh, I only meant to say I'd like it if he said that he would never ever forgive me. I'd said if he'd done this for me, I'd be grateful, I'd love him eternally. I sure wouldn't be hateful. He told me to take it down before it got around, but it was way too late. You'd already upped it to FA and noted in the comment,
this commission made me vomit, but I really needed the money. But this is the last piece of fat fodder you'll get from me. I'm so tired of all of your shit, I'm at the end of my tether. Yeah, fuck all furries, I'm leaving the fandom forever.
You know it doesn't seem right how we were born in different corners of the world. A summer day for you was my winter night, and between us is a $3,000 26-hour flight. It's hard to see the light. When am I gonna see you? It hurts to think that you're so far away. When am I gonna be with you? Maybe one day. I'd feel better if I could touch you. If you were here with me, I couldn't promise that I wouldn't crush you. Our love's so strong, it hurts so much, you must feel it too. But what can we do? I'd just wanna be near you. The world isn't as cold with someone to hold, they say. When am I gonna see you? Maybe one day. Day after day I close my eyes and hope and dream of when we'll be together. And night after night I imagine what it'll be like when we're holding hands. That single moment will feel like forever. Then eyes wide open, it's all in my imagination, and the shock of reality knocks the calmness out of me, and I'm holding back tears or crying with frustration. Your voice is near, but you're so far, dear to my heart. It's better not to dwell, but it's impossible to think about you without missing you as well. I hope it's not too long to go, I guess only time will tell. When am I gonna see you? It hurts to think that you're so far away. When am I gonna be with you? Maybe one day. I just wanna be near you. The world isn't as cold with someone to hold, they say. When am I gonna see you? Maybe one day. In the air behind me is a tail, I can feel it now, poking through the chair I'm sitting in, but I don't know how, I know it's there, in the air. Kinesthesia argues with the physical reality, so evident to other senses, piping up in their defenses, saying nothing's there, in the air. In the air behind me is a tail, I can feel it near. Where it comes from is a mystery, just that much is clear. Sensation point right here behind me, empty space to other people who would likely shake their heads and tell me I'm not right in mind, even though I'm feeling fine, with my tail right there in the air. Long ago I wished I had a tail, wished it very much. You may say where wishes were concerned I was out of touch, but it was what I wanted deeply. For silly whimsy, nothing creepy. Through hours spent in contemplation, wistful with imagination, my nervous system found a way to grow a tail down there in the air. Life would be quite different with a tail, whether thick or thin. It would take some creativity to make the best of it. And if tomorrow we all had them, would they come with stripes or spots, and would they be prehensile, so that we could hold a sandwich, or perhaps a glass of cold ginger beer, with that tail right there in the air? Oh, one day should I wake up with a tail groaning overnight, I'll take some analgesics for the pain. If I didn't sleep on it right, then sew some tail holes in my trousers. Try my best to not get trapped in sliding doors that slyly close, or turn around too quickly should I belt some unsuspecting person lacking derriere savoir-faire. Meditations on the human tail lead me back to now, contemplating what this feeling means, what to think about this strange sensation at the place my sacrament turns into my all too human tailbone. I guess I'll never really know, nor have more than this song to show. Ray my tail right there in thin air. Just like you, I've got pointy ears and a tail, but I ride a scooter. I've got email. I work at a wildlife park from 9 till 6. When it gets dark, I like to hop on home and hang out with friends or listen to the radio. The wildlife park's no fun. I lie around naked in the sun, while sunburned tourists come to take hundreds of photos and click their tongues. And that disturbs my sleep. I've been woken up from too many dreams by badly behaved children's noisy screams, splitting my ears like precision laser beams. Every week I get 2 days free when I can go back to being me. I tend to stay at home and read if it's rainy, or practice playing my ukulele. If it's sunny, I'm usually busking, strumming tunes like this one when I'm not discussing why I prefer ukuleles to guitars, and the main reason why I don't own a car. And there was one time I showed up to work hungover, lying all day half dead in the corner. They said it was my best performance yet. That's about as kangarooish as I normally get. I bet I got stuck in a drunk absinthe again. The previous evening goaded on by my so-called friends, I spent the afternoon cursing the aniseed on my breath and wishing for merciful death. Guys don't quite know what to make of me. Girls flirt but never want to date me. The other kangaroos are rather boring musically, so let's hear it for my ukulele. Yeah, I'm a kangaroo, but I'm a person just like you. I've got paws and fur, and I read science fiction and my weekends are a blur. My friends always tease me whenever we go shopping. They always try to sneak kangaroo meat in with my curry to make the checkout chick stare at me and worry. And I can't drive a car, my tail has put paid to that so far. But without a tail I'd be half a kangaroo. And when I go dancing it's where I get my groove. I don't mind it when it's warm, but I bloody love thunderstorms. A clap of thunder is so fine, especially when you've got ears as big as mine. I'm a macropod marsupial, I'm philosophical and musical. I'm a kangaroo and a person too.